My name is Tassilo Pellegrini. I'm professor at the University of Applied Sciences in St. Pölten. I am co-director of the Institute of Innovation Systems, where we basically investigate the intersection of eco-design and eco-governance together with digitization. I'm also one of the founding figures of the Semantics Conference back in 2005. Most of the problems we have raised back then and the visions we had are still in place right now, but finally we have reached a stage where a lot of these concepts that we have been talking about 20 years ago, for example, like semantically annotated agents, autonomous systems that are working on self-descriptive data, are basically coming into reality. So it's very interesting to see and also to witness how all these developments came along, who was involved, the people, obviously, the institutions, and how actually a lot of streams that have been uncoupled for the recent years, especially in the area of AI, are now converging and basically coming together as one, let's say, supermodel and super concept of how to use data in an intelligent way. So I think one of the big demarcation points in the development of the community was when machine learning kicked in, probably around year 2010. Because till then, semantic technologies was very much rooted in the area of knowledge management, was very much rooted in the area of knowledge modeling. And obviously with all these algorithmic approaches, machine learning based approaches, a new area of engineering opened up and basically also provided a new platform for knowledge models, for knowledge engineering, for knowledge discovery applications. And I think this is the most exciting development we've seen over the previous years. This convergence of, on the one hand side, knowledge engineering, and on the other hand side, machine learning. And obviously what we see today with all these developments that we subsum under the concept of AI, it's basically exactly this convergence that is currently unfolding and that is carrying everything forward. One of my former research areas in which was basically about the economic impacts of internet regulations is still, I think, one of those areas where we need to be aware that this is still massively influencing the way technology is being introduced to the market. For example, when we see how nowadays regulations are basically designed to also govern the uptake of large-scale technologies like AI in the market, it's perfectly visible that there are a lot of normative issues involved that need to be raised on the one side and need to be solved on the other side, so that this technology basically generates a positive impact to society. We mustn't be naive about the massive impact, especially artificial intelligence might have on society in the future. It's a real game changer. It's basically addressing the foundations of our social fabric, of basically the social system that we are embedded in. So in this respect, it's very, very important to always see the technological advancement in combination and in accordance with regulations that accompany the use of the technology. We should also not be naive. Technological markets are never solely driven by market forces, but also by people who shape the policies behind it, the laws behind it. And I think this is also necessary to keep a right balance between the technological opportunities that we see and the impact especially the negative impact they might have on society. I think there are several directions that semantics took over the previous years and also probably will take in the future. But I think, at least from my perspective, there are two pillars that semantics should address in the future. The first one is one that is deeply rooted in the self-understanding of semantics, which is this the transfer between academia on the one side and industry on the other side. So basically that these two communities, these two rationales basically come together at the conference and are being also discussed, debated, and actually lived in something like a symbiotic way. The second pillar that I see is actually this kind of non-naive approach to technology, that basically we need to be aware that the kind of technologies that are discussed at Semantics Conference are socially, societally, also culturally relevant, and that it's upon us to decide how we will use it. And in this respect, semantics is not just about engineering. It's also about responsibility, accountability, and basically this balanced approach to making use of the technology. So, and I think this will also be a second important pillar of the philosophy of semantics to stay relevant in the future. So actually, when I follow my heart, I would like to see a semantics conference maybe in Australia. But thinking about the environmental impacts this might have, it's actually I would rather keep it basically somewhere in Europe. So if I may choose a place for semantics in the future, I would maybe opt for Norway or maybe Sweden, something like this. I think this would be a great place to meet and also to involve the communities from there that are also working on these topics.